What is going on, miners, and welcome back to the Hobbyist Miner channel. Well, more recently, I ended up selling almost 50% of my crypto portfolio, and it wasn't impulsive. It was a strategic move, and I wanted to explain why. But before we do, today's video is sponsored by the team over at ZeroCryptoConsulting.com. Getting started as a home crypto miner can be intimidating, confusing, or just plain frustrating. Well, the team over at Zero Crypto Consulting has you covered. Zero Crypto Consulting specializes in professional, personalized crypto mining training courses, from the basics of understanding cryptocurrency to getting started mining. Currently an advanced miner looking to take your crypto mining farm to the next level? Zero Crypto Consulting can help. If you would like to see what Zero Crypto Consulting is all about, schedule a free 30-minute strategy call with their team using the checkout code @TheHobbyistMiner. Thanks again to the team over at Zero Crypto Consulting for sponsoring today's video. All right, miners, so let's go ahead and jump into it and kind of explain. So if we jump back, I would say a few months ago to as we slowly approach the Ethereum merge, I had this really strong feeling that the bear market that we were in then was going to get worse as we approached the Ethereum merge. And I just had this gut feeling, and I don't have any experience behind it. I have not been part of any crypto winters. I've been a part of very few cycles. I've only been involved in the crypto mining scene about 2 years. So I have very little experience outside of crazy profitability that we've seen over the last year and a half, leading up to our more recent bear market. So with that being said, this gut feeling really persisted. And so I was finding that as we approach the Ethereum merge, that public confidence in crypto was very low. A lot of talks about legislation or regulation within the US and other parts of the world, and crypto just wasn't popping at that time. We didn't see any big news coming out from anywhere. Mainstream media didn't have anything really going on about cryptocurrency other than regulate or help people not lose money, or legislation in place here, or misunderstanding there. And so it was just one of those feelings. And I don't know if you guys recall that feeling going back some time ago. Just a lot of uncertainty. And so a few months back, I actually started to get the idea of like, okay, I think the Ethereum merge is really not going to do well for the progress of the crypto mining scene, at least from a profitability perspective. I am a huge advocate of the fact that Ethereum did have to merge, did have to move to a proof of stake in order to allow a variety of these quote altcoins, which are now just the only coins available, to actually prosper and finally get the limelight. Always been a big fan of that mentality. And so I've always been a big fan of Ethereum moving on to quote greener pastures and allowing us as the crypto mining scene to evolve. That's really what this was. It was the next evolution of proof of work mining without a king like Ethereum. So jumping back there, I had that kind of little itch in my mind where I was like, the Ethereum merge just isn't really going to do well. And at that point, you got to remember, over the last few months, we've kind of been in this quasi bear market. And so I kind of made a decision, and I talked with my wife a little bit, and we decided that it would be very smart of us to position ourselves in a good place before the Ethereum merge. So leading up to that time period, I really made a decision of, okay, I need to find an opportunity that my portfolio was definitely green and that we were in a very comfortable position. And then it was the decision of, okay, I think we're going to make the move to liquidate 50% of it to cash. And the reasoning kind of where that 50% came from was the fact of like, okay, why do I need to liquidate? You know, why did I make this move? You know, that's probably why most of you guys are actually watching this video. Well, let me explain why and then the steps that I took. So the reasoning why I sold 50% of my portfolio was because I expected that the Ethereum merge would cripple profitability, and I really didn't know for how long. You know, I had never truly experienced that crypto winter that we have people like Bits Be Trippin' or Son of a Tech or Red Panda or Mining Chamber, where they talk about back in, you know, the day when nothing was available. There were no really coins out there at that point. It wasn't where we were now, where like everybody's got a coin and it's easy to stand one up, and the profitability was cents. I mean, there's one video that stands out to me where I remember Red Panda Mining talking about mining on a 580, and it was bringing in like pennies per day, and it was like, holy cow. Like, and that's the type of thing I think about. Well, I've never experienced that. So with that in mind, it was like, okay, we're in a bear market, and now we're about to have an event occur at a time period where confidence in crypto is on thin ice. And what is that going to do? And, you know, all these videos coming out, I'm reading about and reading up on articles on, you know, price points of these coins need to be X higher in order for you know, profitability to still exist. It just was a very uncomfortable situation. So I decided that I wanted to keep doing what I was doing, which is this content creation while mining. I wanted to keep doing this. And if the profitability was gone, would I still be able to do this? And yeah, I could still have a YouTube channel, and I could hang around and talk to you guys about crypto and report the news, you know, but for me, that's not enjoyable to watch. For me, it was the enjoyment of watching someone mining, watching someone working on rigs, watching someone progressing on projects, you know, all that fun stuff. So I needed a way to continue to mine and also continue to make content. So what was the result? The result was I needed to be sitting on a decent amount of cash to float my operating expenses. That's the why. The why is I needed to be able to sit on cash to float operating expenses to continue mining through not only a bear market, but also a crypto winter, which I guess that's kind of where we are, right? After the Ethereum merge, it's kind of this weird quasi crypto winter. We don't know when profitability is going to return, how long it's going to take, and most of the people I know, their rigs are off right now. So that being said, the why was being able to continue to mine. Well, my only operating cost as a home crypto miner is electric. So my goal was to put away enough cash, straight cash, so that I could float my electric bill for several months until hopefully there was light at the end of the tunnel, that there was some type of opportunity, some type of profitability that existed. So that's the why. Why? I wanted to be able to continue home crypto mining without the question of profitability, which is really funny because now we're on the 19th of September and nothing's really profitable, very minimally. By the time you take out your operating cost, your profit is very thin, and that's not covering my electric bill. You know, I can't be cashing out crypto to cover that electric bill. It doesn't exist. Now, some of you may be going, holy cow, why did you do that? It could be worth more in the future. And you're absolutely not wrong. So a lot of what I cashed out absolutely has the potential to, quote, 10x, you know, in the future. Absolutely. But do we know when? No. Do we know how long it'll be? Do we know how it'll occur? Will it actually be what I'm holding in my wallets? No, we don't. And so you kind of have to make these financial decisions, these strategic moves, we'll call them, with the knowledge that you have. So let's actually discuss what it was I cashed out and when it was, because I think that may help you maybe understand a little bit more as to some of my reasoning. So jumping back in January of this year, 2022, I made an effort to put a lot of my rigs, I moved a lot of them off of Ethereum. I only had a few, but most of my rigs were on two cryptos, Ergo and Flux. And I was mining them on rigs like my RX 580s, which worked out really well, and my RX 570s and 6600s. And so I had, you know, I've swapped what I've been mining. I've always been big in diversity. Those of you guys that have watched my channel for a while know that I love diversifying my portfolio and what I'm mining. So I'm always mining a little bit of everything. Keep an eye out for a future video. We'll go over everything that I'm mining post Ethereum merge, and you'll really see the diversity there. But that being said, I've been mining Flux and Ergo heavily since January. And so as we got closer to the very beginning of September, to give you guys some idea, I started to really think about and look at, okay, how much do I have of Flux and Ergo? And that's actually what I ended up catching out. I did do a lot of swaps. I did a lot of exchanges into Flux and Ergo over the last several months in order to build up those wallets. I didn't swap any Bitcoin. I'm still a huge believer in Bitcoin. Got it right here. We got it, look, in our coffee mug right here as well. Good segue for a drink break. So we have all this Flux and Ergo, and I've been talking with a lot of other people within the scene, just kind of like telling them, like, I have this itch. I just really want to cash these out. And it was funny because everybody I talked to was like, you know, I explained my strategy and they're like, fantastic idea, you should do it. And I was like, okay, great. So Flux and Ergo, at that point, I don't think I had any of the Ergo in my 𝐂𝐞𝐞 wallet at that point. Something that was, if you guys aren't familiar, Ergo is now supported on 𝐂𝐶𝐞. Ta-da! Now you know. I had all my Flux in my 𝐂𝐶𝐞 wallet, and I decided to move 50% of it over to KuCoin. And KuCoin has a little bit of a learning curve. It's not just pick up and go. The GUI is not as simplistic as what you'd think, but I've used it a few times and it's worked out well. So I moved everything over to KuCoin. I got it into my trading account. If you guys aren't familiar, I have a main account and a trading account. And then I let it sit because I was like, if I'm going to make this decision, like, you know, I give it some time. I don't want it to be impulsive. So I sat it over there for quite some time. And then finally I worked up the courage to put in some spot trades for Ergo and for Flux. And I'm going to go ahead and swap over and I'll show you guys when I sold and for what amount I sold for. Okay, so we're over on CoinGecko. I'm on CoinGecko multiple times a day. I really love the site. If you guys have other sites that are like in your kit of tools that you guys use all the time, let me know. I'd love to know about them. I'm always looking to expand kind of the tools that I use daily as a home crypto miner. You might have some challenges posting them in the description though, but hit me up. I'd love to know about them. So over on CoinGecko. So right now, it is September 19th. Ergo is $3.22. So it's definitely had quite a bit of fluctuation over the last, we'll say 30 days. And let's look as to when I sold. So if we look at a running 14-day, when I sold was back on the 9th at right around here, right about here. So it was back on the 9th, right around noon, and we had sold for right around $4.95. And it's funny, I had in place my order to sell at $5, and it had hit $5 previously. Like it had hit there. It was there at one point, like $5.21, like not just a few days before. And so I set it in place and I'm like, all right, when it hits $5, just sell. And I got impatient is what it was, because it was so close. At one point, I feel like it was like $4.98 or something. And I was like, oh my gosh, like it's going to hit here soon. And then I was like, screw it. So I canceled the order and I went ahead and just did a market sell, and it was right around $4.93, 95 cents, right around there. And it felt really good. It felt really good at that point, because Ergo, if you looked at a 30-day, you know, and we go back to the 9th, which was right in here. I mean, look where Ergo had gone. This is just 30 days. I had been mining it since January, going back even farther. So we had been mining it significantly farther back. It did have a nice run up in April, but we had been mining it for a while. So it had really come up. We had a nice bag put together. Maybe this gives some of you guys hope as hodlers. And so we sold. So on the Flux side, let's take a look here. Same time, sold both of them same time. Bam, bam, bam. So if we go back to the 9th here, we sold, which is really funny. So I sold my Flux at $1.28 is what I sold my Flux for. And I literally had my order at $1.30, and I was really hoping, and same situation, I was like, all right, we're gonna hit it, and I set this, you know, quite a few days beforehand, and I just got impatient. I was like, we're almost there, and I was also concerned too that it would drop at some point, and so that were some of my big concerns there. So we ended up selling my Flux at $1.28, and we sold my Ergo at the $4.98. So now you know why I cashed out, and you know what I cashed out. And it was all, for me, it was all strategic. And so now I'm in a place now where I've left my mining rigs on. I've continued to mine because I'm a firm believer in yield regardless of the amount. And we'll talk about in a future video here on what exactly I'm mining, because I think yield is important right now. I've dropped a lot off of Ergo because of just the difficulty is through the roof. But I've put myself in a position now where we can continue to mine for several months. We'll continue to pay that electric bill, and we'll continue to provide content for you guys. So it's a win-win across the board is where I'm coming from on this. Now, as I know, a lot of you guys may feel, well, what if you could have held that? What will it be when we're in our next bull run? And that question of what if, I think, is what is always the challenge and struggle for me. I'm always trust me, down to the minute I click that button to sell, the what if was always a challenge. So with that being said, I wanted to be a little transparent and kind of reveal to you guys some of these things that we as content creators or crypto miners, home miners, GPU miners, where sometimes we don't reveal as much as often, is like what we're selling, when we're selling, why we're selling, especially right now with the market so low. I wanted to go back, and I wanted to share this sooner, but I thought now would be a really good time to really push the fact to you guys to start thinking about strategic moves that you can make when it's the best time, because there's always going to be a better time, honestly, but you can only make decisions based off of the information you have in that moment. And that's exactly what I did, and exactly kind of what I came up with. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. I'd love to hear from some stories from you guys. Leave a comment down below. Let me know of moments when you decided to sell, you know, your reasoning behind it, how it worked out, what you sold. I'd love to learn all about that from you guys. Well, if you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up. And finally, don't forget to subscribe. Take care.